Did you know that something as simple as how you eat alone could be the reason you feel bloated and gassy every single evening? For many women over 65, that tight, swollen feeling in your belly, right after what seems like a healthy meal, isn't just part of aging. It's a silent signal your body is sending, and we often ignore it out of habit or embarrassment. In this video, I'll walk you through 6 everyday mistakes that silently sabotage your digestion, plus simple, natural ways to fix them starting today. Don't wait until the discomfort gets worse or affects your sleep. A few gentle changes can bring real relief, even joy, back to your daily meals. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? Drop a comment below and type the word HOPE if you're ready for a lighter, healthier belly. If you find this helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss more simple tips to stay strong and independent. Let's dive in. Mistake number 1 might surprise you. The first mistake might sound simple, but it could be the reason your belly feels tight and uncomfortable every evening. It's eating too fast, especially when you're eating alone. Now, I know this sounds harmless. You're home in Ohio, the TV's on, you've got your dinner, and you just want to finish up and relax. Maybe your knees are tired. Maybe you didn't have the energy to cook a full meal. So you eat quickly. Who's watching, right? But here's the truth, and it surprised even me when I first learned it. When you eat too fast, you swallow air along with your food. That air gets trapped in your belly. It bubbles, stretches your stomach, and makes you feel bloated like a balloon that doesn't want to pop. Doctors call this aerophagia. I just call it uncomfortable. Let me tell you about someone I met recently. Her name is Carol. She's 73 and lives in Kansas City. Carol told me she always felt gassy after dinner. She thought it was the broccoli or maybe her age. But then I asked her, "How long does it take you to eat dinner?" She laughed and said, "Well, I'm done before Jeopardy finishes the first round." Carol had been eating alone for years, rushing through meals, barely chewing. Her jaw gets tired. Her dentures don't sit well some days. So she swallows fast, and guess what? Her belly fights back. See, as we age, our digestion slows down. The enzymes in our stomach aren't as active as they once were. According to Mayo Clinic, chewing properly actually tells your body to get those digestive juices flowing earlier. But if you skip that step, food just sits there, undigested, heavy and gassy. Here's what helped Carol, and it might help you too. She made a little ritual of dinner. She lit a candle, played soft jazz, and used a smaller plate. She even joked she was having dinner with the Queen. She sat up straight, chewed each bite at least 20 times, and set her fork down between mouthfuls. Within a week, her belly felt lighter. Her pants weren't so tight. She didn't dread bedtime anymore. It doesn't take fancy supplements or doctor visits to fix this. Just a slower pace, a little awareness, and some kindness toward your body. So if you're watching this after a rushed dinner, take a breath. Tomorrow, try treating your meal like a moment, not a task, because your belly deserves a little peace too. And coming up next, there's one drink many seniors love that might be making your gas even worse. Don't worry, I'll show you what to sip instead. Stay with me. The second mistake sneaks in right through your glass, and most folks don't even realize it. It's those fizzy drinks we've come to love. Sodas, sparkling waters, even that ginger ale you've always kept in the fridge just for comfort. They feel refreshing. They wake you up a little in the afternoon. And when you're watching your sugar, the diet versions feel like a smart choice. But here's what no one tells you: those bubbles don't disappear once they leave the can. They go straight to your stomach. And for people over 65 like you and me, the gas doesn't move through quite the way it used to. Let me tell you about Mr. Gerald from Minnesota. He's 76 and still active, mows his lawn every week. But for the past year, every afternoon around 3 o'clock, he felt bloated, heavy, like his belly just wouldn't settle. At first, he thought it was the bread, or maybe the chili. But then we realized he was sipping a can of sparkling water every afternoon. Just one, but every single day. And here's why that matters. As we age, our stomach slows down. It doesn't produce as much acid. The muscles that move food and gas along, they get a little lazy. So the gas from those fizzy drinks, it doesn't just pass through. It stays, it builds, and it makes you feel like someone pumped air into your belly and forgot to let it out. Cleveland Clinic has actually looked into this. They found that carbonation increases pressure in the stomach, especially for older adults. It can make symptoms of gas bloating or even IBS worse over time. But here's the hopeful part: you don't need to give up your comforting drinks entirely. You just need to shift what's in your cup. Gerald swapped his fizzy water for warm peppermint tea. Some days he adds a slice of fresh ginger. Other evenings he enjoys chamomile with a little honey. Now he says his belly doesn't talk back after 3 p.m. anymore. He even started sleeping better at night because the bloating wasn't keeping him tossing and turning. So here's something you can try. After lunch or dinner, pour yourself a mug of warm water. Drop in a thin slice of ginger or a peppermint tea bag. Sip it slowly. Let it calm your belly instead of stirring it up. You don't have to quit soda cold turkey, but try swapping one drink a day. Start with that 3 p.m. pick-me-up and tell me what's your favorite evening drink. If you've tried a herbal tea that helps, I'd love for you to share it in the comments. The truth is, our bodies are always changing. What worked for us at 40 might not work at 70. But when we listen closely, our body always tells us what it needs. And sometimes all it needs is a warm drink and a little kindness. Coming up next, there's a common healthy habit that's actually making your gas worse. It fooled a lot of people, including someone you might know. Stay with me. Mistake number 3 might surprise you because it's something you probably did with the best intentions. It's when we decide to eat healthier and end up feeling worse. Sound familiar? You wake up one morning, flip through an article in AARP magazine and think it's time to take my health seriously. So you start your day with bran cereal, add lentils to your soup, snack on raw broccoli, a little kale, maybe some roasted chickpeas. It all sounds good, heart-healthy, blood sugar, friendly, full of fiber. But then by evening, your belly feels like it's ready to float away. You're not just gassy, you're uncomfortable, tight, maybe even a little crampy. That's exactly what happened to my friend Janice in Portland. She's 71, recently retired from working at the DMV. She told me I switched to whole grain everything, and now I'm more bloated than I ever was eating white bread. She was frustrated, even a little discouraged. And I get it. We've all been told fiber is the golden ticket to staying regular, lowering cholesterol, even helping with blood sugar. And it is, but only when your gut is ready for it. See, fiber doesn't get digested in your stomach. It passes down into your gut where the bacteria, your friendly microbes, go to work, breaking it down. But when that fiber shows up too fast, too much, it overwhelms them. It's kind of like trying to water a dry sponge. If you dump a whole cup of water on it, the sponge doesn't soak it up. It overflows, gets messy, and takes a while to absorb. But if you drip water slowly a little at a time, it soaks it up beautifully. That's how your gut works with fiber. According to Harvard Health Publishing, insoluble fiber, the kind in wheat bran, raw veggies, and beans, is more likely to cause bloating than soluble fiber, which you'll find in things like oatmeal, cooked apples, or soft sweet potatoes. So what can you do if you're trying to eat healthier, but your stomach isn't too happy about it? Start small. Add just one new high-fiber food at a time, maybe a few spoonfuls of lentils, not a full bowl. And every time you eat more fiber, drink more water. 8 to 16 ounces more is ideal. Water helps the fiber move through gently without backing up and causing pressure. Also try cooking your vegetables instead of eating them raw. Steamed carrots, sautéed spinach, or roasted zucchini are much easier on your belly than a raw kale salad. That's what Janice did. She cut back on the raw veggies, added warm water with her meals, and gave her gut a chance to adjust. Within 2 weeks, her bloating went down her pants, fit better, and she didn't feel like giving up on her healthy plan. If you're watching this and thinking, that sounds like me, you're not alone. Sometimes doing the right thing for your health just needs a gentler start. Your body isn't broken. It just needs patience. Coming up next, there's one common ingredient found in bread, soup, and even salad dressings that might be upsetting your belly more than you think. Let's take a closer look. Mistake number 4 is something most seniors never see coming because it sneaks up so quietly. It's the way your body starts reacting to foods you've eaten your whole life, but suddenly doesn't seem to agree with anymore. I was talking to Mary last month. She's 75 and lives outside of Nashville. She said, "I've been eating the same breakfast for 40 years, toast eggs and a splash of milk in my coffee. But lately I feel like my stomach's been holding a balloon after every meal." She wasn't in pain, just a constant feeling of heaviness, like her belly was puffed up from the inside. And it wasn't just breakfast. Sometimes after soup, or even a salad with onions and garlic, she'd feel uncomfortable for hours. Here's the thing most folks don't realize. As we age, our body stops producing as many digestive enzymes. One of them, called lactase, helps us break down milk. Another helps us digest certain sugars in wheat, garlic, or onions. The National Institute on Aging says that many older adults become lactose intolerant without ever realizing it. It's not a big reaction like allergies. No hives, no ER visits. Just a slow, bloated, gassy discomfort that we often chalk up to getting older. But that discomfort, it's not normal. And it's not something you have to live with. If you've noticed your belly feels heavy after certain meals, if your pants feel tighter after just one bowl of soup, it might be time to take a closer look, not with fear, but with curiosity. I asked Mary to keep a little journal for just 7 days. Nothing fancy, just jotting down what she ate and how she felt an hour later. And you know what she discovered: every time she had milk or anything with cream or cheese, her belly bloated like clockwork. She didn't need a blood test. Her body had already been telling her for weeks. The good news is, there's an easy way forward. Mary started using lactose-free milk in her coffee. She switched her afternoon yogurt for almond milk smoothies. She even found a cheese made with oat milk at her local Trader Joe's. And she said, "I still enjoy the foods I love, I just don't suffer after eating them." If onions or garlic give you trouble, try cooking them slowly. The longer they cook, the softer they get on your gut. And if you're not sure which food is bothering you, just pause and listen. A short food journal, 7 days, is all it takes to spot patterns. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just swap one thing at a time. Start with milk, or maybe onions. See how your body feels. It'll tell you more than any doctor ever could. So let me ask you, have you noticed any foods lately that just don't sit right anymore? Drop a note in the comments. And if you're still figuring it out, just type hope, and I'll know you're on this journey too. Sometimes healing isn't about doing more. It's about noticing what's no longer working. And that noticing, that's the beginning of freedom. Coming up next, there's a habit most seniors do right after eating that actually slows digestion and traps gas. I'll show you how to turn it around gently. Stay with me. Mistake number 5 might sound harmless, but sitting still after meals can actually cause painful bloating. I know it feels nice to finish dinner, put your feet up, and just rest for a while, especially after a long day. You sit on the couch, maybe turn on the TV and let your belly settle. But here's the surprising part: doing nothing right after eating might be the reason your belly doesn't settle at all. I remember visiting Aunt Ruth last summer in Kansas City. She's 78, still cooks the best pot roast in the family. But every evening, like clockwork after dinner, she'd sit in her recliner, sip her decaf coffee, and not move for an hour. And every night she'd rub her belly and say, "I feel like there's a balloon inside me." At first, we all thought it was just normal aging, but it wasn't. When we finally talked to her doctor, he explained that as we get older, our digestion slows down. The muscles in our gut don't move food along as quickly. So when we sit still after eating, the whole system gets sluggish. Food lingers longer, gas builds up, and that tight belly feeling. It becomes an everyday thing. That got me digging a little deeper. According to Johns Hopkins, medicine, just 15 minutes of light walking after a meal can speed up digestion by 30%. That's a huge difference. And guess what else? It can ease that heavy, gassy feeling almost right away. It's not about doing a full workout or going for a power walk around the neighborhood. No one's asking you to put on sneakers and jog 5 blocks. Just a few slow laps around the living room. Maybe rinse a few dishes, water the plants, wipe down the kitchen counter. That little bit of gentle movement gives your digestive system a nudge. Think of it like turning on the fan. In the summer, it keeps things moving and prevents buildup. And for those of you who like a little stretch, there's even a yoga pose called the wind relieving pose. Funny name, I know, but it works. Some seniors in our church group in Arizona swear by it. You just lie down gently, pull your knees to your chest, breathe deeply, and let your belly relax. It's simple, peaceful, and oddly comforting. What I love about all this is you don't need any pills, no appointments, no fancy equipment, just your own body, a few quiet steps, and a little awareness. So if you're someone who often says, I feel so full after dinner, or I always get gassy before bed, try moving a bit. Don't rush. Don't overdo it. Just a few slow steps. Maybe put on some soft music and tidy up the room. You'd be surprised how much lighter you'll feel. Can I ask you something? If you've ever tried walking after dinner and noticed a difference, will you leave a comment and share your experience? I think other folks might really benefit from hearing your story. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing: to feel a little better, sleep a little deeper, and wake up without that heavy belly weighing us down. You deserve that. And the good news is, you don't have to change your whole life. Just give your body a gentle little push right after supper. Let's keep going, because the next tip might change the way you think about your evening snacks. Mistake number 6 might make you smile a little because it's something we all do quietly. But holding in gas after a meal might be doing more harm than good. Now I know nobody wants to talk about it, especially if you're sitting at the table with your grandkids in Des Moines or having Sunday lunch after church in Atlanta. It feels, well, embarrassing. But here's the truth. That little habit of holding it in can build up pressure inside your belly. And over time, it doesn't just cause discomfort, it can lead to real trouble. Let me tell you about Joyce. She's 72 and lives just outside of Cleveland. Sweet lady, very polite, raised in a time where ladies don't pass gas, as she says. After dinner, she'd sit still, tight-lipped, holding everything in, even when her stomach was bubbling like a pot on the stove. She started getting sharp belly aches. Thought it was just indigestion, but the bloating got worse. Some days she couldn't even button her pants. Turned out her intestines were under stress. Her doctor said she had a mild case of diverticulitis, those little pockets in the colon that can get inflamed when pressure builds up. And one thing that was making it worse, you guessed it, holding in gas. Cleveland Clinic says when we try to suppress something as natural as gas, the pressure in our gut builds up. It messes with how smoothly things move through the bowels. For some folks, it leads to chronic bloating or even trouble going to the bathroom regularly. And as we get older, everything slows down a bit. So when we add tension, whether from sitting still after meals or from squeezing those muscles to stay ladylike, it only gets harder. But here's the good news. This isn't something you need a pill for. You just need permission to stop feeling ashamed of something every human body does. After meals, give yourself a little space, not just physically, but emotionally. Take a short stroll. Nothing fancy, just walking around the kitchen or maybe to the mailbox if you're in Florida, where it's still warm in the evenings. That gentle movement helps everything settle and move along. It's like letting the air out of a balloon slowly instead of waiting for it to burst. You can also try a warm cup of ginger tea. Ginger is a wonderful root, helps relax your stomach and encourage your body to let go naturally. A heating pad or a little belly rub in slow circles can help too. And here's a trick from yoga. There's a pose called Pawan Muktasana. It literally means wind-relieving pose. You lie on your back, hug your knees to your chest, and just breathe. You can even do it in bed with a pillow under your knees. No one needs to see. If you live with others, set a little routine. Take a few minutes after meals to be by yourself. Call it your digestive walk or your tea and peace moment. Whatever feels good to you. Because the more you hold things in physically or emotionally, the more your body feels a strain. But the moment you start letting go just a little, it gets easier. The pain softens. The shame, it fades. We're taught to stay quiet to be proper. But our bodies, they were made to move, to breathe, to release. You deserve to feel light and comfortable in your own skin. So next time your belly starts to rumble after that apple pie, don't clench. Smile. Maybe even whisper, it's just nature doing her job. And if this little reminder helps you feel a bit more free today, I hope you'll share it with someone you care about, because sometimes the smallest release brings the biggest relief. Now let's move on to the next part that might surprise you even more. This next part might be my favorite, because sometimes it's not about medicine or big changes. It's about the little morning habits that quietly help our bodies feel calm and work better. Let me tell you what changed my Aunt Mary's mornings. She's 78 and lives in Spokane, Washington. For years, she struggled with that heavy, bloated feeling, not quite constipation, but not comfortable either. One day, her doctor at the local VA clinic gave her a strange suggestion. First thing when you wake up, he said, drink a glass of warm water about 8 to 12 ounces. Not cold, just warm. She tried it. Within a week, she noticed something. Her belly didn't feel as tight. She didn't have to sit and wait in the bathroom anymore. And guess what? Her mood was better too. That simple habit helped wake up her intestines, like gently nudging them and saying, hey, time to start the day. You see, as we get older, everything in the body slows down a little, especially the gut. According to Harvard Health Publishing, even the nerves in our digestive tract respond more slowly after 60. So the key is, be gentle, be regular. Don't shock the system, ease it into motion. There's another thing Mary does now. Before she gets out of bed, she rubs her belly slowly in a clockwise direction, just with the palm of her hand over her pajamas. She says it feels silly but relaxing, like giving her stomach a good morning hug. 3 minutes. That's all it takes. And when she stands up, her body feels ready. Not stuck, not tense. Now let's talk about something most folks don't realize: your emotions are connected to your belly. When we're stressed, even just watching the news while eating, our stomach tightens. It's subtle but real. There's a nerve called the vagus nerve. It connects your brain and your gut. When you're anxious, your digestion slows down. I remember Mr. Thomas from South Carolina, Vietnam vet. Proud, strong, but he used to eat lunch while watching cable news. He'd finish a whole sandwich but feel bloated afterward, like it just sat there. His doctor suggested something so simple it almost felt silly. Before meals, take 5 slow, deep breaths and no TV while you eat. He did. Within days, the tightness eased. The food digested better. He even said, I don't know what it is, but I feel lighter after eating now. So next time you sit down to eat, pause. Breathe in, breathe out 5 times, and let your mind be where your meal is. Now here's another golden tip. Take care of your gut bacteria. That sounds like something fancy, but really it means this: feed your belly the good stuff. Have a few spoonfuls of plain, unsweetened yogurt with breakfast, or a small glass of kefir. Those are natural probiotics-friendly bacteria that help keep things moving. Some folks like sauerkraut or pickled veggies. That's great too, just keep the salt low. Your gut is like a little garden. And probiotics, they're the good bugs that help it bloom. But if your belly still feels off, if you have pain that comes and goes, gas that won't quit, or you've lost weight without trying, please don't ignore it. If your stool changes color or you've had diarrhea for more than 3 weeks, it's time to see a doctor. Not because something is wrong, but because you deserve answers. Peace of mind matters. The truth is, you don't need pills for everything. Sometimes all you need is a glass of warm water, a quiet breath, and a little kindness to your own belly. These aren't tricks. They're gentle nudges, little love notes to your body. And after 60, the body listens closely to every small thing we do. So give it something kind to listen to. Now let's move on to one final reminder, something every senior should hear at least once. All right, my friend, If there's one gentle reminder I'd love for you to carry with you, it's this: small changes can lead to big comfort. A warm glass of water, a quiet breath before a meal, a hand on your belly in the morning. These aren't just habits. They're quiet acts of care your body remembers. Now I'd love to hear from you. If something in today's video made you smile or gave you hope, drop a little note in the comments. Or just type the word hope. That one simple word means a lot around here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with a friend, a neighbor, or even someone in your church group who might need it too. Because health, especially after 60, isn't just about medicine, it's about community encouragement and showing up for one another. So here's my little wish for you today. May your mornings feel light, your meals bring comfort, and may your body thank you in quiet, peaceful ways. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.